My name is Afeez Kay. I'm from UK in London and I represent eRides. My involvement within the EUC community is, first and foremost, I am a rider. I started riding in 2018 and then in around 2019 I started my own company called eRides, where we are a distributor of EUCs, protective gears and all sort of accessories. And we also organize events all around the world. So we've done it in New York, in Chicago, and supporting the community as much as we can. It is important to have an event like this, especially the one that I am involved in right now here in China, because it brings the community together. Now, EUC is a niche of a niche, and it is important that we build a community to be stronger, but also through the community we can share advices and also, things like events, and just to make the community a lot more stronger in terms of what is the best protectors to wear, how do you set up your EUCs. This is not a mainstream sport, so you need as much support as you can. And that is why it is important to set up events like this. It is important for Begode to have everybody come around here because there's a lot of misconception about what Begode does, how to do it, and what are the rationale behind those decisions. And actually having the owner of Begode in front of us where we can actually query him, but also advise him as well. 90% of Begode's customers are in the West, as in Europe, in USA, and not in China, where he is actually located. So to have everybody come together and actually speak directly to the owner of Begode, it only reinforces that connection with the community and make sure that we have the product that we need, not what he believes we need. My impression of the event so far is well organized. I find the people that organize this to be less intrusive, but also quite supportive. For me, the most important thing is to have friends that I know offline come together and put the face to the chats that we've had. It's amazing. It's funny seeing Seth in person. It's funny seeing Marty in person. Obviously, I've already met Marty before, but seeing him again in a different setting, again, it just reinforces that bond that we have, that we need in the community. But in terms of the organization, I think it's been really superb. The kind of events that Begode are hosting in the next few days are, first and foremost, the racing. Begode is known as a race-orientated, performance-orientated manufacturer of electric unicycles. So that's going to be happening. And then we have the off-roading. That was set up to really showcase the new EUC, which is the X-Way that they're actually bringing. So that will be a great baptism by fire, so to speak, to test this wheel. Again, as I said earlier, one of the good things about setting up this event is you can actually test this wheel and in a way use us as the people to give them the feedback. I don't want to say as testers, as beta testers, as we always say, but in a way it is, and it is necessary to get some of the best racers, the most skilled off-roaders to use their vehicles and for them to get that feedback, loop shortened. I think it's amazing. I see the future of electric unicycle in the next 2 to 3 years to being less public focused. Around the world, as you probably know, most of the viewers here, these things are illegal in some parts of the world, so you cannot use them in public. That's what I mean. So they're legal on private lands, but they're not legal to use in public. The enforcement of different degrees depending on what region of the world you're in. In the UK, it is enforced. In Europe, it's enforced. In the USA, it's less enforced, so that's why I'm guessing a lot of the riders are US is a big market for EUC. So in the next 2 to 3 years, I see this to be a bit more of a racing, a bit more of off-roading as well. Very similar to you getting your bike, your mountain bike, putting it at the back of your car and then going into the forest and have fun, put it back in the car and then drive back home. That is my prediction. I might be wrong, but just looking at the legislation and how things are going, which is a very big part of micromobility in general right now, I think it's going to be more of a sport, more of a hobby. Advice that I would give to somebody that is looking to get into electric unicycle is you have to be patient. When you get it, it becomes part of you. One of the analogies that I use is it's like a symbiotic relationship. You become almost like Superman. It becomes part of you because your hands are free, it's part of your leg, and it's almost like you're having an extra superpower. So take your time, make sure you invest in protective gears. I'm wearing one right now as well from eRides. Make sure you get yourself good gloves and helmets as well, because unfortunately you will have some spills and you need to be prepared for it. So that's my advice. Should you get into it, You should. Some of my friends and colleagues have found riding EUC to be a mental de-stress mechanism to use sometimes. It heightens your senses and in a way allows you to forget about whatever issues you're having and just concentrate on the now. And I think for me, that's one thing that I find about riding an electric unicycle. It allows me to forget whatever stress I have, whatever issues I have or problems I'm solving in my life. Once I'm riding that wheel, I have to be 100% concentrated. So my advice to you is get into it, but be aware of the laws around your country. My name is Afeez Kay. I am from UK, London, but I am a citizen of the world. You can always find me by going to erise.com. We've got 3 websites, erise.com global, which is our global site. We've got erise.eu, which is our European site, and we have erise.us for the US customers.
And Electric Games, the voice of electric sports.